Good morning and welcome to the September 2024 edition of the Supe Chat. My name is Dr. Shane Robbins, Superintendent of Dorchester School District 2, and I'm joined today by Mr. Preston Giet, our Director of School Safety and Security. Have you ever thought about the importance of implementing school safety measures? As I begin today's conversation, I'm reminded that every day we have the incredible responsibility of protecting a family's most prized possession, and that's their children. For DD2, that is over 26,000 students and 4,000 employees. In today's world, ensuring the safety of students and staff in educational institutions is paramount. By implementing various safety measures, we can create a secure learning environment that promotes academic success and well-being. It's a responsibility we don't take lightly. But before we get started, I wanted to extend a sincere thank you to our law enforcement and emergency management partners. Not only have they been incredible resources and partners, but they've also provided us with opportunities to engage in conversation, to identify best practices, as well as exercise our protocols. There are so many people to identify who work every day to make Dorchester County safe. But I would be remiss if I did not mention a special thanks to Somerville Chief of Police Doug Wright, Dorchester County Deputy Sheriff Sam Richardson, and Director of Emergency Management Tom McNeil. These three individuals and their organizations are an invaluable resource to not only Dorchester School District 2, but our county as a whole. In today's Supe Chat, we're going to review our standard response protocol, use of the Raptor for visitor management, our open gate metal detectors, and weapons detection canine, as well as extracurricular activity protocols. So, Mr. Giet, could you describe to our viewers the standard response protocol we utilize in Dorchester School District 2?
Sure. We used the I Love You Guys standard response protocol. This was actually something they were all on board with. It's a nationally recognized standard response system that allows us to kind of navigate any potentially hazardous or dangerous situations, no matter how kind of benign or how serious it might be. So the best thing about I Love You Guys is that it allows for very clear and concise communication with our staff, our students, and our school community. We have a number of different protocols that we have on kind of as part of the program that allow us to address any threat, no matter what the level is. So we have our secure, which is kind of what we operate on every single day. That's keeping all the doors locked, that kind of thing, not letting anybody in without checking them. We have our hold, so maybe a dog gets into the hallways, which we've had before.
Chester, though,
not
right?
Chester. We allow Chester, but a stray dog gets in the hallways. You want to hold everybody in their classroom. That would be a hold. Then, of course, we have a shelter if we have a tornado or earthquake or something like that coming. A lockdown, I think we all are pretty familiar with what lockdowns are. And then evacuate. Evacuate could be for a fire, a gas leak, or anything like that. So each protocol has a very specific set of directions that we give to our students and staff. They have very specific procedures that we follow, and then it has very specific messaging that we send out to our school community.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Giet. This year, we're also implementing the Raptor Visitor Management System. Can you briefly describe this system and how Raptor will provide an integrated response with our loveyouguys.org standard response protocol?
Sure, absolutely. So the big thing that we did last year is we implemented the emergency management piece of that. This year we added visitor management, which means that any visitor coming to our school will check in using the system. It's going to check that person up against the National Sex Offender Registry. Right. So of course, if they hit on that, they're not going to be they're not going to be allowed into the school. If they are allowed into the school, it kind of tracks them, lets us know what they're going or where they're going, and then that way, anytime we have an emergency, we can account for those folks as well.
Right.
When they go in, they actually have to scan their driver's license, the front and the back, so it gets that barcode on the back. And then it prints out a visitor badge for them. It has their picture on it, has their name on it, and also has a label on where they're supposed to be. So that if they are out of area, of course we escort our folks, even when they are visitors, we escort them to and from where they're supposed to go. But if they happen to get separated, at least we know that they were checked in and we know where they're supposed to be.
Can you maybe briefly describe the app that's associated with that allows our staff to enact any of our protocols on their phone if they witness or observe an event?
Yeah, so kind of taking a step back to what we talked about a second ago, every school employee has had the opportunity to download the Raptor emergency management app, and with the touch of a button, anybody that recognizes a threat or a danger or a hazard or anything that needs immediate action, with a touch of a button, they can enable that. Everybody that's downloaded on their phone will get it on their phone. If it's not on their phone, they have it on their laptop. So if they're in their classroom teaching or if they're supervising students, they should have that with them. So it not only initiates the protocol for them, but it also gives them information about what may have happened.
Right.
So that we can all communicate. It sends it to us, it sends it to our law enforcement partners. And then furthermore, it allows us to account for everybody that was inside of the building. So whether that's students, whether that was teachers, or it was those visitors we just talked about, it'll tell us where they were so that we can account for them as well.
Also this year, we are expanding the use of our open gate metal detectors. You know, we piloted that last year in our high schools and our extracurricular activities. You know, once again, we're going to utilize those and expand them as well. And then also Chester, our weapons detection canine. So can you talk to our audience a little bit of the high description level, how we utilize those tools in our facilities and at our extracurricular activities?
Sure. So we're very fortunate. We purchased a very good system. It's very mobile. One of the things that you don't want to do when you're setting up safety protocols or safety procedures is become predictable.
Right.
So instead of setting them up every day, running everybody through there the exact same way, we try to be very random and unpredictable so that people can't develop strategies to try to defeat those.
Right.
So sometimes we will have them set up and we'll screen kids as they come in or screen visitors as they come in. Sometimes we'll wait till they get in class and then we'll set them up in the hallway and pull one class out, you know, kind of at a time and do it. Sometimes we just screen kids that are out in the hallway going to the bathroom or, you know, going to the vending machine or wherever it is they're trying to go. So we try to be unpredictable in that way. And then the other thing that we do that I felt like was a big success last year was setting them up at our extracurricular activities. Right. We had a lot of success doing that at the high schools. These units, you don't have to empty out your pockets like you do going through regular metal detectors. You don't have to search through everybody's bag. You can just walk through them at your normal pace. So we've really had a lot of success getting people into our extracurricular activities. So we're looking forward to bringing that to the middle schools in the next couple of weeks.
You know, obviously it's not a perfect system. I like how you described random. We know that no protocol we utilize is 100% foolproof.
Absolutely.
But can you maybe let people know how we feel as a school district this has improved our safety environment just in general?
Yeah, so it's a layered approach. We try to take layers. You know, we put fences around our schools when we can. We change out all the locks on our doors. We have people inside that, you know, we're checking visitors when they come in. So this is just another layer that we go through. So, you know, we're very fortunate. We feel like they're working because I think they're the biggest deterrent. The only gun event that we had last year after we implemented them was actually an adult that was trying to come to an extracurricular activity.
Right.
So we know that they're working, and we're pretty excited about expanding.
You know, I liked what you said in terms of a layered approach. You know, I think when you talk about extracurricular activities, one of the additional layered approaches that Coach Drakeford brought a couple years ago is the clear bag policy.
Absolutely.
Are there, I know there are a couple other things that we're doing, but just for folks that are watching, can you share some of those things that we're doing at our ECAs to try to safeguard our events?
Sure. So we've got the clear bag or no bag. We prefer no bag, but if you have to bring, you know, we know people have to bring some things in, so we want those clear bags so that we can kind of see what's going on in there. We've got Chester, the canine. He's awesome. I really like Chester because he's mobile.
Right.
He gets around to all the schools. He has a full-time SRO that handles him, and we can deploy him anytime we feel like, you know, maybe somebody called and said, hey, we heard something, we heard this, or we heard that. We can get Chester there. We can get the weapons detectors there, our weapons detectors there. Then we can also have them at games. The other really kind of big movement that we made last year was changing our policies on student-age people or student-age spectators coming into the games.
Right.
Biggest thing is if you are a student-aged individual coming into one of our games, you have to have either the ID from the school that we're playing or from our school. If you are under the age of 18 and you don't have one of those two things, one of the ID for our school or their school, then you have to be accompanied by an adult, and that adult is going to be responsible for your behavior.
I think, one of the things I've said in the past, I coined this phrase, and that is with increased safety measures, there comes a level of what may be perceived as inconvenience. However, our protocols are designed to ensure that we're providing the safest environment possible for not only our students and our staff, but visitors to our buildings and our facilities. So again, we understand that convenience is nice to have, but it's not ever worth sacrificing the safety that we provide, to our community. So in closing, I just want to say thank you to our community and reassure you that we will continue to modify our protocols to ensure we are doing our best to provide the safest environment possible with the ever-changing environment that we live in. We understand that increased safety and security comes with a level of inconvenience. However, we also understand convenience is never worth the compromise of protecting our students, staff, and visitors. Thank you for joining us, and I'll just close by saying we are one team with one vision and one goal, leading the way every student, every day. We are Team Dorchester.